Project management is a complex endeavor, and understanding how to calculate return on investment can be daunting. It's important for project managers and schedulers to understand the basics of return on investment project management so that they can accurately measure success. In this blog post, we'll explore what return on investment project management is, how it's calculated, best practices for implementing it into projects, plus common mistakes to avoid when doing so. Return on investment is an important metric in determining whether or not a project should move forward at all. It takes into account both the anticipated costs associated with completing the project as well as any potential returns that could result from successful completion. By comparing these two values, one can calculate an overall value which will help them decide whether or not to proceed with the project. Return on investment is often used by senior management to compare different projects or investments, allowing for better decision-making when allocating company resources. Additionally, it provides insight into how much money could potentially be made from each individual investment, allowing companies to prioritize projects accordingly. That said, calculating an accurate return on investment can be a challenging task. It requires knowledge of both current market conditions and future trends, which may affect the outcome of any given venture, as well as taking into account unforeseen risks that may arise. The first step, which is relatively easy, is to calculating return on investment, is to identify the costs associated with the project. This includes any direct or indirect costs such as labor, materials, and overheads. Once these costs are identified, they should be totaled up to get an overall cost figure for the project. Next, it's necessary to determine what benefits will result from completing the project. These could include increased revenue, market share, strategic edge against the competition, or cost savings due to reduced expenses. Finally, divide total benefits by total costs and multiply by 100%. This gives you your return on investment percentage, which indicates whether or not investing in this particular project was worth it financially speaking. There are several common mistakes that can be made when using return on investment in projects, which can lead to inaccurate results and failed investments. Not considering all costs involved. A common mistake in calculating ROI is failing to account for all associated costs, including direct costs like materials, labor, and overhead, as well as indirect costs such as marketing expenses and administrative fees. Accurate cost accounting is essential for understanding the true expenditure versus earnings. Not accounting for risk factors. Another mistake is neglecting to consider risk factors that could impact investment outcomes, such as market conditions, competitive pressures, and technological advancements. Project managers should incorporate these risks into their calculations to anticipate potential returns under different scenarios. Failing to monitor progress regularly. Lastly, many project managers fail to regularly monitor progress throughout an investment's lifecycle. Tracking performance metrics over time helps identify areas needing improvement or additional resources to maximize ROI, which might otherwise be overlooked until it's too late. By avoiding these common mistakes, you will be able to set realistic goals and expectations while also ensuring that your investments yield maximum returns over time, something every successful manager strives for. Conclusion. Return on investment project management is a great way to measure the success of your projects. It allows you to track progress and ensure that all investments are being used efficiently. When using return on investment in projects, it's important to remember best practices such as setting clear objectives and tracking progress regularly. Additionally, be sure to avoid common mistakes like not taking into account external factors or failing to set realistic goals. With proper implementation of return on investment project management, you can make sure that every investment is put towards achieving maximum returns for your organization.